Hi everybody, Jenny at Bettin the Farm. So I've been watching a lot of the videos lately, and it seems that one of the big questions that's come out lately is, what is homesteading? Or what is a homesteader? Well, I guess to me it depends on who you ask and what their version of it is, because everyone's is different. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what the term homesteading was until about a year ago, when Chad and I really started getting into wanting to be more self-sufficient and not work the 8 to 5 or 8 to 8 or sometimes even 8 to 10 at night and 7 days a week, working for someone else and being at their mercy. I was raised on a hog farm, and we didn't call it homesteading. We called it living. We lived on a farm. We had hogs, we had chickens, we had ducks, we had pheasants. We had a couple goats and things like that. My dad raised the pigs not to butcher. He raised them to sell. We sold the feeder pigs, or we would sell for 4-H hogs or things like that. I showed 4-H myself. We butchered our chickens, and I will never forget the fresh chicken melting in your mouth when you barbecue it the next day. I mean, it was so good. We had a large garden. We had field corn that my dad was breeding, so we had different hybrids of field corn that he was experimenting with. We baled a lot of hay. We either mainly sold it. We didn't really have many animals at the time to feed it, but anyway. So it was just living. My mom made almost everything homemade. I'll never forget the first time she brought home like Hamburger Helper and a pre-boxed meal. Couldn't believe it even existed. But, my grandmothers have taught me a lot of how to cook and bake and sew and crochet and things like that. Then years go by, and I wanted the city life, and I wanted to be the CEO of a company, and I wasn't going to have kids, and didn't even really care if I got married. And then things changed, and I had a good job, got married, had 2 wonderful kids that I would never take back for the world. And I'm doing the daily grind, trying to keep up with the Joneses and having a nice car and having a nice house and having nice clothes. And, meanwhile, worrying, even the more money you make, the more money you spend. Well, about a year ago, my job was literally killing me. And stress and breaking out in hives, and I was becoming someone that I didn't like anymore. And it took Chad to tell me, why don't you quit? We'll be fine. There's other ways out there. There's other ways we can do things. And that's what started it. So we started looking up on YouTube, and actually Doug and Stacy's videos are some of the first ones we started watching. And I'm not saying it's a romantic life. I think everyone that, for the most part, everyone that's going to get into homesteading, pretty much what you're getting into. It's going to be hard work, but it's as hard as you want to make it. If you want to start out small, you start out small. Don't worry about what the neighbor down the road has. Don't worry if he's got 5 goats, a milk cow, and 50 meat chickens and 12 laying hens and things like that, and you only have a garden and 6 hens. That's okay. If that's all you can do and that's all you can afford at the time, that's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a homesteader. Or the woman that lives in Las Vegas in a condo who has a patio garden and cans a year-round supply of food. What makes her any different? Homesteading. It's what you make of it. It's what you want to do in your home. It's being more self-sufficient. Whether that's growing all of your meat, all of your vegetables, making all of your own clothes, whether that's just buying produce at the farmer's market and canning it to have supply of food, or someone like me that started making soaps because I didn't want to buy them. I wanted to know what was in it. And then I thought, well, I can make enough of this that I could maybe sell some. So I started my business, Simply Enough. The reason for Simply Enough is because so many people think they have to do more or they have to live up to other people's expectations. When if you look at yourself, you're enough. And so I just wanted to come up with the brand Simply Enough. It's simple products, simple packaging, and it's made by me, and I'm kind of simple. So anyway, I don't think there really needs to be a complete definition. I don't think there is a concrete definition of what it is. Okay, well, actually, Wikipedia's definition of homesteading. Homesteading is a lifestyle of self-sufficiency. It's characterized by subsistence, agriculture, home preservation of food. It may or may not also include small-scale production of textiles, clothing, crafts, or household use or sale. It doesn't matter if you have 20 acres or if you have 1 acre or if you live in a condo. If you're doing anything, if you want to be a homesteader and you're doing the things that make you more self-sufficient, then guess what? You're a homesteader. You're homesteading. And I think that it's great. And I don't think there's any reason why anyone should judge anyone else or should say, well, I'm more of a homesteader than you are. Who's to say? It's about you. It's about what you want to do. It's about how it makes you feel. It's doing what you can when you can. That's the whole reason why we love this homesteading community. It's because it is a community. People learning from one another. There are so many different videos out there or different YouTubers out there. Some great at showing you how to bake. Some are canners. Some have a lot of variety of animals. Some show butchering. There is a variety. Some do it all, and good for them. I hope to someday that Chad and I are going to be where we want to be. We're not where we want to be right now as far as homesteading, but we are a lot further than where we were a year ago. We're a lot happier, a lot less stressed. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have stresses. We've got to come up with a little bit of money every week to make ends meet. And we'd like to be doing better than that. We don't want to just make ends meet. We want to have money set aside for the things that we want and the things that we'll need. And it'll come. And I'm positive it'll come. So we just have to be patient. We've been patient through this whole thing. Our house didn't sell as fast as we thought, but we're here now. And it gives us a jump start. And so now we just have to find the right property, and we will. So anyway, I guess the moral of it is, just be you. Enjoy this life that we have and be you and do what makes you happy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It meant something to me. So anyway, give us a thumbs up. Please comment down below. I love reading your comments. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, guys. Bye.